NCR Voyix is a retail and restaurant technology company headquartered in Atlanta, Georgia. As a global company, when we come to work each day, we see new names in our inboxes, we share elevators with other employees, and we pass by each other in the hallway. But just who are these people exactly? Many of us are colleagues, yet strangers. Let's take a minute to sit down and learn a little bit more about each other as people. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Not Just a Quick Look. I'm your host, Jenny Reinick. I work in marketing at NCR Voyix.
So I'm here today to highlight an amazing NCR Voyix employee, Shubha. Shubha, welcome to the show.
Hello, Jenny. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. Thank you. So to start off, telling us a little bit about yourself, can you share where you are in the organization? So what's your title? What department do you work in, and who you roll up to?
Sure. So my name is Subhashis, and widely known as Subha. I work in the pre-sales consulting team here in Asia Pacific. I'm based here in Singapore. So I roll up to Stephanie Lee is my boss here. She's based out of Sydney. And then we roll up to ultimately to Gopal, who leads the sales engineering or pre-sales team at NCR Voyix.
Awesome. And how long have you worked here at NCR Voyix?
I'm here with NCR Voyix in 8.5 years now. So I started my journey back in Hyderabad. So I joined back in 2016 in the professional services team as a business analyst and business consultant. And then I moved over to Singapore in 2018 and worked a few days in the professional services organization. And then finally, I moved to pre-sales organization 4 years ago, like in 2020.
Awesome. So you have a lot of experience in different areas of the business.
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome.
Yes.
How did you initially find your job here at NCR Voyix?
Well, that's a good one. So before I moved to NCR Voyix, I was working with a company called ADP. So it's a payroll and human capital management HCM organization. So I was doing some good work there in terms of product owners or developing the products into user research, user experience. But it was not directly working with the customers and client, which is what I love, right? So I had been looking for opportunities outside as to get a role where I can work with customers and make an impact into the day-to-day things that is happening in society. And I came across this opportunity with, at that point, it was NCR, and now we are NCR Voyix. With NCR, and NCR was setting up a professional services team in Hyderabad and was looking for someone who can lead the business analysis process and requirements gathering and bring customers to the Hyderabad center for delivery. And I found that role very interesting because it was directly customer facing, and I could, build something, a team from beginning, as well as I could make an impact to the in terms of requirements gathering, business process optimization, and so on. And then ultimately, when I looked at it was retail, so I could see that this tech is going to help make an impact to this day-to-day operations, in the sense like we all go and use shoppings, and our expectations is something where I can play a role here. So I was like, yes, I'm going for this. And I've never looked back since then. It's been 8.5 years and time just flies by. Yeah.
Yes, I agree with that. I've been here 9 years and it flew by.
Exactly. Yeah.
So where are you from originally? What's your hometown?
Yeah, so I'm originally from a town in Bhubaneswar in Odisha of India. And then I studied in different parts of India. And before I moved to Singapore, I was in Hyderabad. Yeah.
Awesome. And what did you study in school? And do you feel like you use it in your day-to-day job?
That's very interesting. So I studied electrical electronics in my engineering in Bangalore. So it's very interesting that I had been always like a curious personality from childhood. I would open up every toys and try to see how it is functioning and doing things, rather than really just using it. So that curiosity of my childhood carried forward up to my studies. So when I was studying, it was electrical electronics, but I wanted to see how it is applied into business. And so I would organize with our, with our team and batches to go to like different organizations and participate in things like that, right? So when I was graduating and I had like opportunity to move into a software organization or continue in the field of electrical electronics and research and so on. So my heart was back to curiosity. So I'm like, I want to make difference into how business operates and so on. So I joined an organization like Accenture, and I never knew that I would start directly from business analyst and making impact to the business. But it happened that so Accenture takes a pool of people and then they will allocate different streams. And luckily, that was the first year they were starting, a business analyst stream, and I was in that, right? So to your point, I don't exactly use my electrical electronics, but all that curiosity aspect and analytical thinking, problem solving, collaboration with different teams, and taking a leadership is something what I use day to day from my learning. I wish I could use those electrical circuit things, but no, I don't.
Awesome. No, that makes sense. That's a pretty common answer, I feel like, is that people don't always use exactly the subject matter that they studied in school, but the schooling taught them how to like think a certain way, and that's what they apply to their day-to-day job. So that makes total sense.
Absolutely.
So if you had to explain to a kid, like maybe a 10-year-old kid, what you do for work, how would you describe it?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. So I think what I do is how I will explain a kid is something, is when we start designing things or the kid is playing something and making things happen, they always want to look at what do they have in front of them and how do they get to play with it, right? So what I do is I do the same thing at work, but in a little bit different way, is just to visualize what the kid wants to play and how it is solving a particular challenges in the organization perspective, and then map that out with the products, right? So and then design that solution. So the way I would explain is, look, we all play a role of problem solving, whether you're playing a games or in the software world. The kid is playing the games to achieve something, and we are playing the games in the software world to solve a problem and map those out, right? And then the easier way to explain them, I will just take them to a retail store and just show them self-checkout. I think we all are very familiar, and they will enjoy. Nowadays kids love technology, so they would love to press all the buttons, and I would just give them a chance if they can break the system. So if they can, then I haven't done my job properly for our customers, right? So,
right, exactly. Yeah. Yes, kids love pushing buttons, that's for sure.
Exactly, yes.
So how do you connect with other people through your job? So not just your direct team, but other people outside of your team as well.
Yeah, so I always love working with people and collaborating. So it goes back to when I started in Hyderabad, not just in my team, but I was expanding into other teams. And the beauty is that you could share stories. You could also hear their stories and learn from them. So it's mutually beneficial. So and then I have those connections, which I started 8 years ago, that I could reach out and talk to in different parts of the organization. But then I also continued to move on, right? I will give you an example. I worked with someone in Hyderabad, not it's direct relationship or anything like that, but more as we know each other, we talked about it, and he has been considering me as a mentor, and recently he has been doing executive MBA, and he reached out to me that for his final project review along with the professor, right? So it's a great way that we haven't directly interacted for many months or many years, but we still have those bonding that we created many years ago. So same way, I always look at reaching out to different parts of the organization. And I have, team members, or not directly our team, but other teams in Europe, in US. I work out and stay in touch and connect. So I love that, and I do it day in, day out whenever I can. Yeah.
Yes, definitely a lot of people to learn from in an organization this big. So,
yes.
Can you share a project or accomplishment from your time here that you're really proud of?
Yes, absolutely. So we have been at NCR Voyix looking at our next generation products, like what we call in the NEMR parts, it's Emerald 2.0 or Emerald DX, and in this part of the world, it's Emerald Global. So I worked on a project with a customer here in Singapore, NTUC. I think many people in our organization knows, because they literally, so we're looking at two approaches of taking our customers from legacy to next generation. Either we, basically create a migration path, migration blueprint for them, or we leap ahead and take them everything to next generation. So NTUC is one of the first customer, especially in rest of the world, who went leap ahead for everything next generation. That means edge computing, Emerald Global, our platform, Voyix Commerce Platform, analytics, everything bundled together. And they even have the roadmap further for Voyix Core, which used to be known as Jarvis before. So this project has been enormously complex, but also is the right direction for achieving all the great outcomes that we have for our customers. So we won that business, a year and a half ago, roughly, and we're in the implementation phase. And I'm very proud of all the great things that we're doing for this customer. And another way, me or any other people living in Singapore, we go and use those systems. So I can really be proud of that. When this system is in place, it's going to enhance the customer experience, like software experience, but not just that, but also the associate experience in the store. So that's something I'm really very excited and proud of. And because of that project win, I was also in the President's Club. So it was great experience to be in President's Club last year.
Awesome. Congratulations. Yes, I know that is a big accomplishment. Can you share more for our listeners of the podcast about what the President's Club is?
Absolutely. So President's Club is every year, the top sales executives, who are probably in the 1%, is awarded President's Club. I work in tech sales and the pre-sales, so it's not in that criteria. You need to be multiple more, right? So I believe each region, one pre-sales every year get the chance to be in President's Club. So it's a great way of our organization for celebrating success and motivating us to continue to work and get the best outcome. So from my experience, it was really a great one-time experience, I would say. We had all the best people pulled together in Barcelona. And it was not just about, having fun, but it was also designed activities that we could do as a team, right? And going out and having fun. At the same time, we also did something meaningful, activities like we created certain things as a product that can be used in a hospital. So we did those activities as well. It was really fun, is what I can say. So, yeah. In summary, awesome. This was President's Club.
Yeah, productive and fun. So what is something that you're currently learning or interested in learning?
Yeah, I love learning, and continuous learning is something I do always. Last year, I actually did something quite very ambitious, but I achieved it. So I signed up for a program with NCR is one of the top university around the world for executive education and so on. So I signed up with them for a digital transformation certification program. And, so it had 3 modules, and these modules are big modules. So for example, one is business transformation with AI, and it goes for a few months. And another was emerging leader, right? And then it goes for a few months, business transformation and financial impact. So it goes for a few months. So they were thinking it's quite ambitious to achieve all these three and combiningly get the digital transformation, but I was able to complete all those three last year. In addition, I invest my time into certification. For example, Google Cloud we use a lot. So I used time last year to be a Google Cloud Associate Cloud Engineer certified and so on. So, and in addition, I spend a lot of time reading different types of books. This year, I have set a goal to read 12 books, and I can proudly say that it's 5 months gone, and I've completed 5. The last one is just I finished yesterday, is Leaders Eat Last. So learning is always fun for me, and it could come from different sources. One is structured, another could be by reading, by talking to different people, as we were just talking. Like I speak to very different teams and people around our organization, and I every day learn. So it's a lot more fun. Yeah.
Awesome. That is a very admirable goal. I definitely have a pile of books gathering dust that I need to crack into.
Yeah, sometimes it is. So what I did is I said, like, let's set a goal and also put my bookshelf in front of next to the TV. And then it can be like whether you watch TV or you read books, something. It could be interesting. Yeah,
yes, exactly. That's a good idea. So what is a fun fact about yourself that might surprise even the people on your own team?
Well, fun fact about me is that one of the things might be a lot of my teammates not knowing, maybe some of them know. Once I walked one end of Singapore, it's an island, roughly about, let's say, 100 kilometers. But I walked along with my friends from the west coast to the east coast in one day. So that was like 42 kilometers. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was fun because it was not easy, but it was, it's tropical climate here. So it's sometimes it's very hot. Yes. Usually hot, right? So it took long hours, like more than 12 hours. So I think it's not exactly a fun fact, but it was fun for me to do that and see this country by walking. Was really fun. Yeah.
No, that's a great fun fact. Yeah, and that tells me that you're very fit if you were able to walk for that long.
Yes, I did it with friends. So we had 3 other friends, but it was really fun. We passed by different parks, and Singapore is very well organized with parks and coast, like the beaches, and also through neighborhoods. And then we stopped by for foods, laugh, and yes. It was fun. It was very fun. I wish I could do I love nature. I'd go for walks and hikes, but that long one and that passion, starting like 4 a.m. and wrapping up around 5 p.m., that was one time. So
right,
I don't think I would do it. Yeah.
Well, that is quite the accomplishment.
Thank you so
is
much.
Your favorite thing about your role here at NCR Voyix?
Yeah, I think first thing is that it's very dynamic and challenging. I really look at myself as a trusted advisor because our customers really they want to believe in me because I kind of telling them what or our teams, we are telling them what are the right things to drive the right outcomes. It's not just about a sales, right? It's about what is the business values that they're getting. And I take that, and our teams, we take that very seriously. And when you do that and you deliver, that's how you earn the respect and trusted advisor aspect of the customers. So that's something which I really do day in, day out at the work. And the second thing is about, as I was telling, very dynamics and challenging role, because every customer or the same customer, as they move on with the journey, has different challenges to address, right? So every day could be very unique and challenging, is to not just doing the same monotonous things, which I get very bored easily. So that's something very interesting. And the third thing is, we as an organization is complex in terms of multiple teams, and pulling those teams all together to drive the outcome during the sales phase is something I also is something really unique and challenging, is what I enjoy. Yeah.
Awesome. What are you most excited about when it comes to the future of the company?
I'm really super excited that, especially after the spin-off, NCR Voyix is fully on the growth trajectory, and we're now a lot more focused about commerce in terms of getting those, making those insights, connections for our customers, right? So I can see that our organization is going to get a lot more impact to retailers and restaurants and digital banking, right? As part of that growth path, it is something going to bring benefits and values to all of us, for our customers, for our we as employees, and also our stakeholders, in terms of making a financial impact to our stakeholders, right? So we all know this impact of when we deliver something good, the stock prices, right? So for example, the platforms, what we're looking at, if we can increase the platform lanes count, not just by sales, but also activation, right? That immediately results into kind of the ARR and the key metrics that we're tracking. So I think these are some of the key things I'm super excited about. And there is also one aspect I will say, I also look at our organization is on a very much kind of a change path, right, in the digital transformation journey. And sometimes it's not easy, because change is always hard for all of us, right? So it takes embracing that change and motivating each other in the teams. It's not just about ourselves. I think that's also exciting, because you don't get these kind of opportunities working in all the organization, which is going through such a transformational change.
Yes, change is constant here at NCR Voyix.
Yeah.
Other than walking from coast to coast, what else do you like to do for fun outside of work?
Well, so I said about nature. So I love hiking, and also go for just around beachside walk and so on. I love to talk to friends and go for coffee, exploring cafes in the city. I love reading books, listening to music. Yeah, so these are some of the fun things that I do. Yeah.
So yeah, going for a hike and making progress in your book reading goal. It sounds like exactly. A good weekend.
Yes.
And what advice would you give to a younger person who is maybe just starting out in their career?
Yeah, so I think younger generation brings a lot different, fresh perspective to the role and organization. So I would say staying committed in terms of, really being what you are trying to achieve is not just give half-heartedly, but give your full into that and stay committed. Is something like perseverance is very, very important, I would say, right? The second aspect is I would say them to be really not just look at the quick wins, but also give persistently work on things that can give long-term benefits and results, right? Because I think in our digital world, instant gratification is so much that sometimes, I wouldn't say, I mean, we all are a young generation, but those more youngers coming is probably even more prone to instant gratification. And sometimes they just give up or not stay focused and consistently making that effort to do things. So I would say that's something important. Yeah.
Some excellent advice. Well, Subha, it was great to learn a little bit more about you, and thanks so much for joining us today.
Likewise. Thanks a lot, Jenny. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Yes, you as well.
Not Just a Quick Look is a production of NCR Voyix Corporation. Thank you to Linton Felix, Duval Johnson, and the staff of Bell Studios for production and editing help. Thank you to all of our NCR Voyix employees who have participated as a guest on the show. Our cover art is by Ariana Cole. Our website is ncrvoyix.com. ncrvoyix.com. Any opinions stated in Not Just a Quick Look are those of the podcast guest and or host, not NCR Voyix Corporation. Subscribe to our show to get updates about new episodes. Thank you for listening to Not Just a Quick Look, available wherever you get your podcast. Copyright NCR Voyix Corporation 2024. All rights reserved.